Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome, one and all, to our this finale, actually, of our Masks mini campaign. I am Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Before we go into the game and we introduce ourselves and all of that, I just want to say a big thank you and a shout out to all of our sponsors, Magen Press, makers of D&D 5th edition supplements. They're coming up with a bunch of new books, so keep an eye out on store.magenpress.com. Use code WanderingDM to get 15% off, and yeah, as I said, keep an eye out on their website. They're gonna have some very cool stuff coming up in the future that I'm not allowed to talk about. Our other sponsor is Found Familiar. Found Familiar has restocked their coffee on Monday, so now's the time if you want to order some of the brand new flavors that they have, or some old favorites that you had. Remember, if you order for 50 bucks or more, and you live on the continental United States, you get free shipping, and you also get 10% off wherever you live if you order using the code WanderingDM. That said, our last sponsor is our partner, not sponsor, but partner, Diceomancy. Oof, level up dice through the Diceomancy. If you want to check them out, use the torch down below or the link in chat. They make some very, very fancy dice from semi-precious stones, metals, and stone. So look it up if you want to give something as a present to someone, or just give a present to yourself. That said, tonight I'm playing Vigil, the Beacon, the tiny boy without powers, the hopelessly in love with a girl that doesn't like him back because he's a superhero. Vigil. I think I said the name anyway. But let's go around the table, introduce yourselves. We'll begin with the mystic of the group. Pope, hi, how are you doing?
Hey everybody, Pope here. Ready and nervous to play my darling boy, Harrow, the protege of the Sorceress Supreme, and all around goofball. Let's see what sort of trouble we get into this time and how perilous it is. See you soon, folks.
Next up is, should I say, our resident emo girl? Kat, hi, how are you?
That's fair. I'm good. I'm Kat at Clerk of Court. I am playing Chameleon, known as Cammy to her friends, and yeah, she's taken emo goth to the nth degree, for good reason, though I think. But yeah, be interesting to see where this goes. I mean, she's already flooded the hallways of the office building, so it could be fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And last but not least amongst our player is our resident athlete, I guess. That would be Deirdre. How are you?
Hey, good. I'm doing okay. I think Alcestis is like yay dates, but also creepy thing in the basement. But yay date, so things are okay? Question mark? Maybe? I don't know. We'll find out. It'll be great. I can't wait.
And GMing for this finale is our good friend, Lily. How are you?
Hi, I'm so excited. I super love this campaign. And even though it was short, it is very dear to my heart. And we've had so many good heart to hearts through RPG. And I can't wait to do this episode and then see what comes next. Yeah, my name's Lily. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Just a Little Nerd. And yeah, my head is too full of information about this session to think of other things. So follow me, I guess. And shall we do it? Should we press the button? Okay. Well, so last episode kind of got cut short because of real life things, but the team was sent by Stregan Nocte to infiltrate a marketing company. Excuse me, a marketing company called Protaggers, where a woman that she used to be acquainted with, Starsight, owns. the team arrived there in full costume under the pretense of wanting to get marketing support for their superhero powers. And I believe they went there because they were looking into something about Sean Xavier. They wanted to get more dirt on him, as they always do, because Sean Xavier is a douche. So they show up there. They're accosted by some very enthusiastic employees of Pro Tigers. There's Rianta, who is the front desk girl slash just seems to be all around person that's in everyone's business. And then there was Vixie, the very cool kind of suave social media manager. And their intern, Cordelia, who we all know and love, is the popular mean girl that has been plaguing the group and showing up in a lot of weird places. And everyone, if the sound was on all these mics, it'd be like snap, 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 mad shade being thrown. So while Alcestes distracted Rianta's Cordelia and Vixie with some social media planning and marketing, Harrow, Chameleon, and Vigil kind of snuck away to scout out the rest of the place. They were getting strong signature reads of the copycat deck, as we know, the tarot deck that's very powerful that Harrow owns. Somebody has a copycat one, and it was traced back here. So Harrow was infiltrating the conference room after kicking out Chad and Brad, the two office execs. He started to investigate this room. Chameleon caused a distraction by flooding the toilets so that nobody else would come and bother them. And Vigil is just kind of being the jungle man, popping around, trying to see who needs help doing what. So the last we left off, Alcestis, you had just gotten asked out by Q, the mysterious figure that keeps popping up in your life. This is the most all over the place synopsis. But yeah, you got asked out on a date by Q, and they left. And now you are just chatting with Vixie, Rianta, and Cordelia. And Harrow, you are struggling against some tech symbols that you do not understand. So why don't we start with Harrow? You're peering down at a conference room table. You know that there is an elevator or something under this table to get into the underground. There are buttons. You don't know what they mean. And you were calling Vigil for help.
I need tech support.
I'm on my way. I think I don't even have time, I believe, to get the card out and reply.
Mm-hmm.
From what I remember, the office, the bathrooms were almost next door to the conference room.
Yeah, it's like across the hall. So Chameleon was standing there. I think we actually did get to the part where you saw Chameleon standing there and Harrow was in the room. So do you want to go over and check out the conference room table?
Yep.
So there's a bunch of buttons on like a little electric board, and some of them are like universal symbols. You recognize one for Bluetooth. You recognize one that's like phone that you assume to like press the phone. There's a power button, and there's also 4 keys that have just strange symbols on them that you don't recognize. And so far, it seems as though the hallway is like pretty flooded. It now has like a good 1.5 inches of water just chilling there. So nobody's really coming your way. And when they do, they see Chameleon standing there at the door glaring, and then they run away.
So you said there was 4 keys, right?
And so the first symbol is kind of like a triangle, like this, that points up. And then the other one is a triangle that points down. And then there's one that kind of looks like a star, but it has like 2, not a star, an asterisk with like 2 circles around the middle. And then the last symbol is like a square that has a big circle in the middle.
Okay, I've seen the square with the circle before. It's on the tag of all my clothes. It's a washing machine.
Why would they have a button for a washing machine?
I don't know. Maybe they have like a hidden washing machine to wash like superhero costumes or something.
Oh.
The first ones do look like an up and down arrow for an elevator. I'm gonna
So-
press on the downward triangle.
So Harrow's like in the middle of saying something, and you just kind of look at him and go, boop,
Yeah.
and press the triangle. Very loudly all around you. You hear a bunch of like moving, grinding, crushing sounds as the table slides apart and the two ends of the table like bend down into the ground, and then you see like the floor opening underneath it. Alcestis, you clearly hear all of this happening from the room that you're in, and you notice like everyone sort of look up and like, what was that?
Is that usually happen here?
Chameleon comes
That's-
walking out of the hallway. Squish, splash, wet shoes, wet footprints on the carpet. Go. You might want to call facility management. There's a problem with the bathroom.
They look down at the ground, and Rianta's like, oh my god, ew, did you just walk in toilet water?
Well, I mean, I didn't have a choice. I don't fly.
Ugh, I'm not going out there. Okay, I'll call them right away. And she like pulls out her cell phone and she's like, goes into the other corner of the room, starts
By the
talking.
way, what do you guys think you can do with this? And then she'll throw back her hood.
Okay, so
she doesn't want facilities management showing up. She wants that to kind of be delayed.
But the question here now that I'm curious about is your first altercation with Cordelia was when she recognized your face. She hasn't recognized Alcestis because of the magic of magic girl superhero costume, but you don't have this. You've always just been the way you are. So she recognizes you immediately and she's like,
Proth Assault.
oh my God, you're that girl. Or, whatever you are.
Is there a problem?
No problem. I just I know you. You used to go to my school, right?
I want to. Can we make this a provoking Cordelia? Yeah,
Sure.
I think she's trying to provoke Cordelia into slipping up.
Okay.
And so I think she just kind of looks and goes, nobody else has ever seen me like this that I know of. So you must have been the one that exposed me in front of everybody at school.
Okay. Roll to provoke.
Okay. I have to figure out what I roll to provoke.
Plus superior.
Okay.
If you get over a 10, I'll do something a little extra for you.
Well, I have a 0 in savior, so.
Superior, not savior.
Oh, superior? I have a 0 in that too. And that's a 4. That's a hardness.
Okay.
Oops.
So you say that, and she's like, yeah, you can't have your hood up during the national anthem. Duh.
I'm sorry. Is there a problem?
No, there's no problem. We used to go to school together. I took the means as a true patriot to make sure that her hood wasn't on during the national anthem. because
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're an employee here?
Yes. And then Vixie's like, she's an intern. You're an intern, Cordelia.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I'm probably going to get the job after my internship is done.
Well, I don't know that I want to be affiliated with someone with your attitude.
I mean, you humiliated me at school, so I'm not sure this is a company I want to do business with either.
I mean, I really think I should speak with your manager.
Vixie is like, well, that would be me. Cordelia, do you have something you would like to say to these people? I mean, what is this? These are not the values of pro-taggers. We are a hero positive, judgment-free zone. And Cordelia just kind of blanks and like looks at everyone and seems to be in a very uncomfortable place, and kind of like steps back and like leans against the thing and like puts her head in her hands, and she's just like, I'm sorry that I'm so popular, and it can be really hard to be this beautiful and popular all the time, and I don't always make the best choices, but I am very hero positive. I want to be a hero. I want to do good for people like you do. I read about you before you were here, and I do. I admire you. I respect you, and I'm sorry. I am truly sorry that I made you feel that way. And you know what? You can both have a +1 influence over Cordelia for this moment.
I will take that.
In the background, Rianta kind of just has her phone like dangling at her side as she watches this like teen drama unfold. And she's like, this is beautiful. I love it. Women coming together to support each other is just like amazing. And in the meantime, it appears that everyone is thoroughly distracted from the noise in the conference room.
Cammy just puts the hood back up.
I'm like, can I just sit here and tell you that going through Alcestis's head is like, I have this overwhelming urge to just hit you across the face because you are lying through your teeth, you stupid, stupid bitch. But I'm looking morally superior right now, so I can't do that. But that's what's going through her mind.
Maybe you'll get an opportunity later. We'll see how the dice roll. Back in the conference room, the table has now like folded into itself and like sunk into the floor, and the floor panels have opened up, and you see below you kind of looks like almost a net made out of metallic purple cage-like metal things. And on one side of the net is another panel with a bunch of buttons.
You're muted.
No, he's just mouthing a net, like not even saying the words out loud because it's just he is so thoroughly confused by all of this. Okay, like I understand conveniences, but this looks like an inconvenience. Why would you have one panel that just leads to another panel? This hurts my brain.
Well, it's like an elevator. You have a button to call it, and then you get inside, and you have other buttons.
That's a fair point.
Okay. I have used elevators previously. They never involved a net before.
Well, no. I guess maybe that's like a safety net.
What about this seems safe? Nothing about this seems safe.
Should we call Alcestis and Cammy?
Part of me wants to say yes. Part of me wants to say no because we're still so in the dark.
All right.
You also have I will point out, you have only tried one button.
Yeah. Is there anything under the net?
You can't see anything. It just looks like blackness. It's like, maybe net was the wrong word. Maybe cage is a more accurate word, but it's like an interwoven sort of round chamber made out of like crisscrossing metallic purple strips.
Okay. And what does the panel inside look like?
So if you peer down inside, it's like about yay big. So 12 inches or so. And it's just a bunch of numbers, row after row, kind of like an elevator. And the numbers go from 1 to 36.
I look at Harrow. This is very exciting. I feel like I'm doing a hero thing, like not just rescuing something, like we're delving deeper into a conspiracy or something. This is great.
Go team? Um, I am still so terribly confused. Like the last time I dealt with any sort of magical elevator, that was the celestial bureaucracy, and we don't go back there.
Okay, there's a I don't know why you would go to a celestial DMV. I I'm gonna hop in.
Strega needed new stickers on her portal.
I'm gonna
You're gonna
hop
what?
in,
Hop in? Mm-hmm.
and Harrow, I'm gonna show you something that we, those without powers, do when we're in an elevator.
I've used elevators before. They have them at the mall.
Okay, sure. And I'm gonna just touch every button like up and down like kids would do in an elevator. Just all of
Oh,
them.
no. Okay. The door, like the trap door above you, starts to close, that floor panel. Harrow, are you getting in?
Go on, dude. What's the worst that could
No.
happen?
Closing.
No. I'm going to let my teammate put himself in horrific peril, and then I am going to. Do I see like a visible chain on this thing?
No.
Bye bye.
Oh,
5,
okay.
4, 3, 2.
I'm going to try and attempt something good and stupid.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
So I am just going to take a card from the deck and just throw this thing, which I know has strength greater than what it looks like, and just try and jam the damn thing open with the card.
Ah, interesting. Why don't you pull a card and tell me which card will be holding this thing open?
Oh dear. It's literally his card. It's literally Vigil's card. It's the Rabbit Prince.
Crazy! And I hate it, and I love it. It's gives me goosebumps. All right, give me an unleash your powers for that.
Sure, because this can't possibly go wrong. This most definitely goes wrong. That's a 3.
Oh yeah, I forgot to remind you also to mark potential chameleon, and yeah, mark a potential Harrow. And as you try and like put the card into that closing gap, and you're like, I know that you're strong, I know you can do it, you push all of your will and force into this card, and then just watch as it closes and the card crumples. And Vigil, you look up, you see the panels closed above you, and just the little remnant of that card sticking out from the ceiling. And you start to move. And it's not like moving in an elevator. It's like you were kind of just dropped. It's very like lurching as you fall and you kind of hit something. And you find yourself looking at a hallway. And the metal bars of the net kind of like peel apart and open for you to step out. Do you step out?
That would be the first like floor under. Nope.
And it just looks like a normal hallway. Yeah. So they'll close. So basically, how many floors, or until you see something interesting, I think?
Yeah, until it opens up to something maybe more than just a single corridor. Like if there's a door with a spooky label, an ominous label on it, or I don't know. But I'm pretty sure you don't hide your like secret stuff on the first floor under the table.
You don't know villain organizations. It could be anything. Yeah, so you go down probably, it all seems to be very normal corridors, like single corridor, single corridor, single corridor, until you hit the 12th floor. And it still is a single corridor, but everything here is like bright pink, like the hallway, the floors. It looks like the aesthetic of a young girl's bedroom, essentially. And there's like paintings on the walls of like unicorns and all this really pretty stuff. Doors open. Do you step out or keep going?
it's a girl's bedroom? Judging by just the decoration and everything, like, would she be a child? Or
You don't know. It's just
okay,
it's not actually a bedroom. It's just in the aesthetic of it.
the
So like
aesthetic
all the
of okay,
walls, yeah, are like pale pink and there's like
okay.
ponies and whatever.
Nah, I'm gonna keep in. I'm gonna stay in.
All right. You drop down another. The next floor is appears to be like an open storage area, and then the next one under that is another open storage area, and then the one under that, so this would be floor 15, is an open storage area, but in it are two of those pink glowing orbs that you had seen with Polynike's under the Scotiabank
Then
that
I'm
time.
definitely stepping out of the elevator here.
Okay. So you step out here, and we'll flash back up to Harrow. Harrow, what are you doing after those doors closed?
This isn't card time. This is find them time. And he just goes out of the conference room, floats down until he finds his friends, and goes, "Help!"
Oh, Harrow. Good.
Uh,
You're here.
Yeah.
If you'll excuse, and she kind of turns to, like, she's ignoring Cordelia and like totally imitating her mother, like that very regal bearing, and like turns to, oh god, I blanked on her name. Vixie?
Dixie.
Vixie, right?
Vixie? The
Yeah.
social media manager is Vixie, and Rianta is like the admin assistant.
Okay. So she turned to the two of them and be like, I'm going to take a moment to talk with the other members of my team to see how we feel about certain things that have been happening.
Oh, this is Rianta. She's like, oh, okay. And she looks at Cordelia and she's like, Cordelia, why don't you go and get us some coffees from the break room, like over there, like.
I wouldn't get to the break room. It's flooded.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, the break room's that was the conference room. The break room's in the other direction.
Cool.
We'll be right back. Thank you so much for your time. And she'll
Okay.
just like manually turn Harrow around and like kind of push him out the door.
Cammy's assisting with this.
You all walk out.
Yeah. Once as they're floating down the hallway and the squishing resumes, just in panicked tones. Okay, so we found that there's some sort of mystical elevator underneath, and Vigil just hopped in and pressed all the buttons.
And Alcestis turns and looks at Cammy and goes, "Why did we leave the boys alone?"
Because I forgot what happened the last time.
Yeah, that's right. They're boys.
All
right.
Just
call him on the card. We can go through the card.
Yeah, hopefully there's not mystical interference.
Or we can just call the elevator again.
Or
I'm not good with buttons. And he just, as they enter the conference room, which I'm now thinking because it was nearby the bathrooms, there's this water trickling in, and it's all heading towards this open maw in the center of the conference. Oh, the maw closed?
That was what closed, yeah.
Okay. So remembering
there's still water trickling.
But remembering that button that he pushed, he hits the down arrow button and just braces himself for the horrific sounds.
Nothing happens.
Okay, this worked last time.
So bringing it back to elevator analogy, when the elevator is gone, you have to wait for it to come back before the doors open. So he's going on a trip to all 36 floors. So it might be a little while.
Like Alcestis would say that. It's like you told her that she pushed all the buttons. That it's gonna.
Cammy pulls out the card and she goes, "Vigil, send the elevator back up."
Vigil does not receive the message. You get no answer.
Damn it. I'm guessing he's on the extra-dimensional demi-plane. I hate inconveniences.
Harrow, you can try and unleash your powers to force the cards to work like a little jolt.
Okay. Here goes nothing.
Actually, Alcestis, you could try as well if you wanted to flavor it with
Actually, I
some
was
of
going
your
to do
stuff.
something else to maybe give Harrow a moment to work a little bit
Mhm.
better.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
The theory that the cards can't reach him because he's on another plane, whatever. But we know that the elevator is a shaft that goes to that plane, and the elevator table is just doors, right?
Mhm.
They may be mystical, but they're doors. So she's gonna pull a, I'm gonna force the doors open,
Mhm.
and then now you should have a communication line a lot easier, right?
Mhm. Mhm. So when the doors open, so picture this is the table.
Mhm.
The ends of the table fold in and then they sink into the floor, and then the floor has a part that opens. So you're gonna have to somehow like trigger the table thing to happen first.
I mean, can she just use the telekinesis to do it first? Like,
Yes. Unleash your powers.
yeah. And then that might give you a better chance with getting beyond the plane.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Mhm.
I'm going to check on a. Unleash is plus thingy. It's plus freak, so that is +2, and that is 8. So that's a 10.
A 10. You do it. Feel free to describe it.
I think it looks a little awkward as she's just kind of like standing in water in her boots, which are both practical and impractical. And she's like, you let the elevator close and you left him behind, and he touched every freaking button, did he? And
I tried to, at least jam the thing open, but that didn't work.
Okay. And we can't talk to him because you can't get through the door. So here, let's have a door. And she's just like gonna try and like pull it apart physically, and just kind of let that pull everything else apart.
Yeah, the table like splinters and bends as you warp it with your telekinetic powers, where you just force your way through it and you just snap everything open. The floor is pushed apart and you are just looking into a black bottomless void.
Okay, now can you call him? That was I may have broken it, Cammy.
Try?
Let's fix it.
Snake Eyes.
I was gonna say I'll give you a +1 to that because Alcestis assisted, but yeah. Do you want to describe how you try and infuse it with more powers?
Yeah, he's again. The cards are still a new thing. Like, he's really good at using them for divination, sometimes for protective purposes, but communications cross planes has always been a difficulty in his tutelage. And he's just he's trying to center himself, but he's already so flustered. So instead of like being in tune with the deck and then using it for its mystical connection to Vigil, instead it just like for a split second, like every card in the deck is just sparking. And he's having to pat himself out.
Always with the burning, Harrow. So, because of those 2 misses in a row on the unleash, I'm going to have you mark insecure. Actually, no, I'm going to have you mark hopeless.
Question. Can we see the walls of the shaft?
No, you see nothing in there. It is all just black.
But there has to be, I mean, there's a hole. So there has to be a surface underneath and then walls at some point. Because we know this thing is contained.
So picture it like this is the floor, and then it like opens up, and then there's like a net thing underneath here, and then that just dropped away. So now there's no walls that you can see. You you suspect Harrow especially would suspect that this is not a conventional elevator.
Can I try and use the card to call Vigil
Mm-hmm.
Or the cell phone.
or the cell phone. You know what? She'd look at the cards going up in smoke and like pick up the phone in her like she oh shit. And she like kind of pat herself around and it's like find the phone. She's like, why didn't I find that when I talked to Q? Okay. All right. Adam, where the fuck are you, you dipshit? All caps.
Is that a text message?
Yeah, it's a text.
So, Vigil, you receive a text message on your phone, but when you open your phone, you can't read anything. It's like all of the English that used to be there just got converted into weird ass runes. You are somewhere else.
What the hell?
And I'll say that you get that like right as you're stepping out of the net and approaching these two glowing pink things. So what would you like to do? The net kind of closes in on itself behind you, and then you see it like drop away again. And if you're actually watching it, you literally see it like hovering there in the air at the doorway of this room that you're standing in. And then it literally seems to just drop and disappear. Looking around the room, it's like a big open warehouse space. It's all very barren, and each of these glowing pink balls is about 3 feet tall, and they're just hovering in the air about 10 feet away from them.
And they're not being held by anything.
No, they're just floating.
I'll get closer to one. I'll keep my phone out, just in case the runes suddenly start to make sense or something. Ooh, wait. I'm gonna film myself.
Okay.
Well, not myself, but I'm gonna use my phone to film what I'm seeing.
Okay, cool.
And I'll walk up to the one on the right. Are they high enough that I can touch them?
Yes. They're like at about eye level.
I'll take my staff out. And I'll gently poke the ball.
As you do, you feel almost like a slight vibration in the staff, as it's almost like it's rippling out from this pink orb that you're touching. And resonating through your mind is a voice that you never thought you would hear again. It is your mother's voice. And she is laughing and saying something indiscriminate. It sounds very, very, very far away, but you hear it.
Mom? I take a step back. And I'll go do the same thing to the other one.
The other one, as you touch it with the staff, you hear the most ungodly sounds that you ever heard. Like if you had to describe it, it would be the sounds of hell. It's like it's like a medley of just a million voices screaming and writhing. But if you linger there for a second, ever so faintly underneath all of that, you kind of hear what sounds like Polynikes. Kind of. You're not 100% sure. You only heard his voice maybe for a little bit a while ago.
I'll go back to my mom. And I'll get closer and I'll touch it with my hand.
When you touch it with your hand, a vision like fills up your mind, and you see a place that is all like pale blues and radiant golden sun and just this swirling of cherry blossom leaves and a beautiful pagoda. And you recognize this as the world of Tian, which is the Chinese heaven, essentially.
Oh.
And you see your mother and your father standing together underneath one of those pagodas, and they're like holding hands and their heads are bent into each other and they're laughing and smiling. But they seem very still, almost as if they're in a tableau. And this whole scene strikes you as vaguely familiar. Like something about it just seems so similar to something that you've seen before, but you can't put your finger on it.
I think Vigil can't help but call out to his mother. Mom?
You say it, and your voice seems to echo off into them. Her head raises like ever so slightly, like almost like seeing a dog's ears perk up, but she just stays in her embrace with your father and doesn't seem to hear you. Back over on the other side. There was a message in chat. Mm-hmm.
Cammy's reached out and just hit the up button to recall the elevator. And
When
she
you
keeps tapping it, just like you do when you're...
You keep tapping the up button, and you don't see anything manifesting in the blackness underneath you. But what does happen is above you in the ceiling, another hole starts to open up. Not so much like the sliding, like this was more of a square metal plate sliding apart. The one that comes from up there seems sort of like a metallic tube. And out of it drops a single string that's like a long red silk.
Well, that says the way up, and that's the way down. He went down.
I'm going to I'm going to grab the string and tug on it just a little bit.
You tug on it a little bit, and it seems pretty secure to something.
Does it look like it'll continue down? That I could take it all the way down? That I could take it down?
No, it stops at about your waist level. You also, after a moment, hear Rianta's voice just out in the hallway, and it sounds like she's on the phone, and she's like, "Oh my God, there's water everywhere, and we have clients here today, so somebody needs to come and fix this, like, really, really quickly. Cordelia, where's that coffee I asked for? Go and get it. Go get it. You're taking so long. Oh my God," etc.
Hey, Cammy,
Yeah.
want to do something cool and crazy and stupid?
I've already exposed myself to Cordelia. What else have I got? Let's go.
Cool. She'll hold out a hand to Cammy, like to grab her hand, and then
Cammy
she'll
has removed her gloves and wrapped the tentacle around to get a secure grip.
And Alcestis doesn't even react. No problems. And she grabs Harrow by the cloak and just shoves him down the hole first.
Oh, good. Cammy, what were you hanging on to?
Alcestis.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
a
had taken
secure
her
grip
gloves.
on
Yeah,
it.
she had taken gloves off and pulled the sleeve up so that her tentacle wrapped around Alcestis' arm, so it was a more secure.
So Alcestis is trying to use her telekinesis to slow them, trusting that Harrow will add flight to this at some point when he recovers from his panic attack and being shoved into a hole.
I see what you were trying to do, and I appreciate it. And yeah, give me an unleash your powers.
Oh, this could go badly or great. I don't know.
That's how I'm feeling.
And as Cammy being the last one down, as she calls out, she goes, "Those aren't volume control buttons. Oh my God!"
That's a 9.
Okay, you feel yourself slowing and everyone kind of slowing in free fall, and you sort of hover just in blackness. Like you are in the void. There is nothing around you. You can't see anything. You can't feel anything. And you were going to mark I think you'd mark an afraid. This seems like an afraid moment. It's real dark in here.
Okay, cool.
With all the experiments that Chameleon's parents used to perform, has she seen or experienced anything like what this tech is, what she's seeing?
You have not Harrow probably has. This is more supernatural than science. So,
Okay.
Harrow, this would remind you of sometimes when you pass between the dimensions, sometimes you are in the nothing. Right now, you are in the nothing.
We're in a transitional plane. No wonder I can't get reception. And
Okay, can you get reception now? Because
no,
this is a little disconcerting.
transitional planes don't get reception. They're transitional planes. It
How do you transition out
Dreamscape
of them?
is an in between. There's a few deities that one can call when you're there. They all have a high price. Don't suggest it.
Just a
Crud.
note as well, real quick. Vigil, you start to hear your friends' voices as you're looking on this tableau of your parents. You can hear, like, again, very, very far away, but coming from like the other direction, like Harrow and Alcestis kind of snapping at each other.
Yeah, she's not quiet.
What?
Okay, so one, I need to actually center myself, concentrate in order. Okay. All right. You need to be able to orient. That is still up. Regardless of what my senses tell me, that is still up. That is down. I'm going to try and, even though I'm hopeless, reach out to try and get orientation to Vigil. He still has the card. I'm still going to try and orient myself to him so I can at least guide us back to him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Here goes nothing.
When the Harrow's done, I'd like to offer him support.
Please.
Okay.
So even with the -2, that's still an 8.
Okay. Describe your power unleashing.
So he's just pausing for a moment, and you actually see a couple of the cards slip out of his deck and just start actually like circling around him.
Mm-hmm.
And then a bunch of them just all of a sudden start zooming off, and the rest of the deck just spreads out like breadcrumbs, leading in Vigil's direction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You find the world around you and all that blackness and emptiness around you start to lighten and brighten ever so slowly, like there's a dimmer switch somewhere and somebody's like turning it up, and the brightness becomes so overwhelming. For a second it's all white, and then you blink and you're in some kind of very heavenly peaceful place, cherry blossoms swirling around, and you are in Tian. And you see in front of you a pagoda with two people who vaguely look like Vigil. He has his mother's eyes and his father's jawline, and they are just wrapped in this embrace together. But as you look on this scene, you feel something shift in the dimensional plane, like you had taken too many shortcuts, something, and it sort of like glitches for a second. And for like that split second where everything like glitches and twists, you get a flash of a familiar face, Zhao's face, covered in tears as she's bent over something crying, and then back to Tian. And Chameleon, Alcestis, you are there as well. And Chameleon, you said you wanted to comfort Harrow. Oh, Harrow, because that was an 8, you are going to now mark a... You're going to also mark an afraid, because you don't know where you are. Nope, insecure. Insecure makes more sense. Insecure. This wasn't exactly what you were looking for. And Chameleon, Alcestis, you are now here with that scene as well. You also would have seen that glitch and flash of Zhao's face. And yeah, Chameleon, take it away.
She's gonna throw another tentacle, kind of extends and kind of drapes over Harrow's shoulder. You're the only one here with any experience in all of this. This is why you were training? This is why she chose you? because you have this power and this ability. It's why the deck chose you. I trust you. You can do this. This is
Like
what
he's
you
almost on
trained
the
for.
he's almost on the verge of tears. Like he hasn't gotten much in the way of positive reinforcement ever. And he just, without hesitation, just like grabs the tentacle gently on his shoulder, takes in like a a a ragged breath, just goes, "Thank you."
Of course. Gonna roll. Hopefully this works. It wasn't 8 until we did the -2 of this mundane.
Do you have influence over Harrow?
Um,
I believe you do. So then you also get a
Yeah.
+1.
that's right.
So it's only a -1. So a 7.
So a 7. So it's a hit. Barely, but it's a hit.
Mm-hmm. So they can. So Harrow, you can either mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels.
I'm actually going to mark potential
Okay.
because that takes me to my last one.
Ooh, level up.
I'm getting my moment.
The what
Your
now?
moment of truth, or your
Yes.
ooh. Read it to us, please.
Okay. So, moment of truth for the protege. The moment that you show who you really are. Are you your mentor or are you something different? You can do whatever your mentor could do and more. You can do the incredible, even the things they always fail to accomplish. Of course, they're not going to see you the same way, no matter which path you choose.
All right. And what is your moment of truth? What is your truth? Speak it to us.
Because someone has finally believed in him, all of a sudden things start to click. And for a moment, everything is painfully still. He's not with them right now. His consciousness has gone somewhere else. He's in the dreamlands. He's in the realm of the deck. And in that very moment, splayed before him are everyone else who's possessed the deck.
Whoa.
From its inception to the previous owner. And they all just look at him and nod a nod of acceptance. And then he's just shot back to where he is. And this time the eyes aren't his eyes. Or are they? As the eyes go completely green. And he just snaps to it and goes, "You will not deny me today." And just shoves and all like what with one wipe of his hand just wipes away where they are, and there's just this portal that opens to right where Vigil is, and with his two friends holding onto him, just floats through.
You all witness this, and Vigil, from outside in that realm from where you were, you sense the physical joining of your friends. But Chameleon, Alcestis, you just see all of this happen. 1 minute you're in Chinese heaven, and the next you're in some warehouse, and Harrow looks completely different, and shit just went down.
Okay. That's new.
Can I take my hand off of the sphere?
Yeah.
What happens when I do?
You're just back in the warehouse.
Oh,
You were the only one that didn't see the glitch of Zhao's face.
yeah, everybody else did.
Mhm.
Hey, y'all. glad you can make it. I see. Whoa. Hero, you all right?
And better.
All right. So this ball has my parents in heaven, and this one has the tortured screams of the dead and probably your brother Alcestis.
Yeah, that one also has something else weird. But that's Harrow's gig.
I would actually like to do read the files.
Okay.
When you experience a bizarre phenomenon, you get to roll this.
Mhm.
So, roll superior. 10.
10.
Yep.
Okay, that's a hit. Tell the team one important detail you've learned from your studies. So tell me something you learned from your studies.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you if anything is different than what you remember. And then on a 10, you can ask me a follow-up question and I'll answer honestly.
All right. I think these are some sort of scrying device. Storage. Something involving memories, view of another dimension, another time. They might be crystallized or they might actually be active. I'm not entirely certain, but I've seen something like this before. Just not this hue. When I was traveling through one of the heavens, they had crystalline spheres like this. Something for helping judging the lives of the dead. But this is different. This is almost feels wrong. But it would explain the interference from before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty accurate. They're kind of like two-way mirrors to see into other dimensions. And you can ask me a follow-up question.
Okay. Are these spheres generated by the copycat deck?
Yes.
Whoever's using the other deck made these. I'm almost certain of it.
You mean like those used to be cards?
May have been in a specific card, it may have been just one of the fringe benefits. But whoever has the deck made both of those.
Which means they're the ones that opened the portal that pulled your brother in.
Yeah.
Can we go get him?
I don't know that what Vigil saw was right.
Well, I didn't. And as Vigil speaks, he gets closer to the other sphere and says, I didn't really see anything so much as I heard things, but I mean, it doesn't seem like we can affect what's on the other side. And he puts his hand on the hell sphere.
Mm-hmm. And you are now looking at a miasma of colors of darkness and reds and like these deep purples that just seem to like swirl all around in this chaos. And you get a clear image, like almost pressing out of that miasma is Polininki's face as he kind of like snarls and he seems to like lock eyes with you and see you as he just says, I was trapped here by you. You did this. Ah, and you see a hand start to reach through the miasma as if to grab you.
I fall on my ass. And I will take the afraid condition.
Okay.
The bad stuff. Bad, like, oof, your brother's in there. Polynesius is in there.
Maybe. But that wasn't heaven where we were, because it glitched and we saw something else. So I don't know if these are right.
Could be a memory. Could be a window to another dimension.
Polly said
Guilt.
that we were or I was the one that trapped, but I think he meant us, trapped them in that hell place.
Then
Uh,
it's not my brother.
I they might be like outcomes.
Could be a number of things, but these were made by the deck. That is the one thing that I'm most certain. As to make, model, and ultimate purpose, can't give you a solid.
Well, if that deck made them, can your deck unmake them?
See, that's where things get complicated, also tricky. I'm still trying to understand everything. There's a lot to understand.
Yeah.
And
Oh, sorry.
it's once you reach with this sort of power, unless you have somebody who knows what they're doing, unraveling can go catastrophically wrong.
Okay, so skipping the unraveling for a minute, let's backtrack a little bit. Um, Outside of Strega, who needs a place like this? Why would they have a place like this? Why would heroes like, and I can't remember the names off the top of my head, which
Starlighter?
yeah,
Starsight.
Starsight.
why would they have this? Why would this be in their building? What
I don't know, but
who's
did you
I mean, and
see
if
the floor with the ponies?
No, we skipped
No.
that.
yeah, we must have missed that one. Although if you push the up button, the ceiling opens up and a red string comes down. It was really interesting. We didn't go up that way.
No.
But
Um,
but what I mean, this is she and she looks at Harrow. She goes, "This is time. This is effort expended. How long?"
This is everything. And you
Uh-oh.
all spin around as behind you, hovering in the void, is a person that looks quite familiar. You saw pictures of her on Starsight's Instagram page. It is the girl Rini, her daughter, except she is no longer a little girl. She's a teenager, probably about 14. And instead of her withered, crippled legs, she has these long, golden, almost satyr like growths that come out of her. They appear to actually be made out of like a molten gold, and she's hovering in the void there. The top half of her body, so she has like these satyr like bottom half, and the top half of her body is no longer that nice dark brown color, but instead like a dark cobalt blue. Her eyes are like bright pink, and she is holding by the scruff of her neck, beside her, Zhao, who appears to be unconscious. She throws Zhao on the floor and she says, "All of you are so tiresome. You come here, you come into my place, you ask all of these questions, you seduce my brother, and for what? And now you will die here today."
God,
And
I
she
hate it when they
steps.
monologue.
I really hate monologuing. It pisses me off. And she's still, Alcestis is still standing next to the Tien sphere. And she's going to do something really stupid. But she's seen her brothers, and she kind of loves her brothers a lot. So she's going to try and, if this woman thinks that these are everything, she's going to try and use the vitality absorption to drain the energy out of them so it's not giving energy to her.
And Chameleon has slapped out a tentacle to reach for Zhao to catch her, not knowing how fast Vigil can move. If he would be able to get there in time. Who's closer? Chameleon will
Zhao kind of like collapses into your arms. Upon closer look, you see that her face is like streaked with tears. Her hair is like matted as if she hasn't showered or anything in a few days, but she seems to be otherwise okay. She's breathing. She's just unconscious.
I hand her off to
Alcestis.
Adam.
Sorry, what was that?
I hand her off to Adam.
You take her in your arms. All right, vitality absorption on these things. It's this finale episode. Yeah, do another unleash your powers.
I figure this is going to go badly.
You can either unleash your powers or directly engage a threat because you're trying to engage these threats.
Either way, I figure she's gonna unleash because she's still afraid and she's denying but she's also pissed that they're using her family against that shit. And that is a 10.
Bam. So
I figure she's gonna overexert herself again.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. So, as you put your hand towards, you're not going to touch it because then you'll be transported in to see the vision, but you sort of like reach your hand towards it, and that energy, almost like wisps of air, starts pulling into your body. But as it does, Zhao like jerks awake all of a sudden and looks up at Adam and just lets out like a pure, painful scream, like, "No, don't stop, you can't." And Adam, you look down and you see her skin is starting to almost like wrinkle and like collapse in on herself. She's like, don't, you don't know what you're messing with. Please stop.
I'll turn
And
around
Rini,
sorry.
I was just going to say, and Rini just kind of like laughs behind her and she says, "Oh, you really don't know what's going on here. Silly children." And she just calmly steps towards you.
Well, it feels like physics. You can't unmake energy, but you sure as hell can convert it, right, bitch? And because I figure she's totally overpowered by this point, she's just gonna try and shoot that energy directly at Zhao.
Oh, wow. Okay. At Zhao. All right.
'Cause
Who is
she
still in
sees-
Adam's arms.
Who is still in out, but she doesn't. I don't want to hurt her,
Mm-hmm.
but I see it harming her.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to hurt her, but I want to send that back towards her, particularly after the fact I've fucked up with her brain before, and I kind of feel guilty about that still.
Okay.
Like a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you want to redirect the energy to her. Let's say that you are now trying to defend her from an immediate threat.
I guess. Yeah, probably. Does that work for you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're basically trying to save her by whatever you drained, you send it back to her.
Mm-hmm.
I want to
Yeah.
basically like energy can never be created nor destroyed, but it can be transformed
Mm-hmm.
And transferred.
and transferred.
Sure.
Yeah, go for it. And because we are entering combat, you do have 2 team in the pool, and everyone has the same purpose. So 3 team. Nobody mistrusts anyone. Are you ill prepared? Yeah, I think so. So we'll go with 2 team. Y'all got 2 team going on.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, that's a 9 for a
So
defend.
cool. So pick one. You can add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition.
I think no, she's gonna keep the condition. She'll add team to the pool because she's
All
not
right,
sure what
so-
the fuck is going on, but she's trying to help everybody else do what they can.
That makes sense. And so as you like start to direct that energy away from Zhao, or towards Zhao, but then also simultaneously away from Zhao, you feel something ripping away from yourself. All of these memories come floating up to your brain, rapid fire, and you feel like your memories now are being altered, and you kind of like go limp for a moment. At this moment, that's when Rini sees you, and she comes in with the attack. She moves lightning fast and sort of just like slams a fist into your face, like grabbing it almost and pushing you down to the ground. you are not going to interfere with what I have planned. And she like drives your face into the ground even harder. What are the rest of you doing?
Can
Chameleon
I?
has go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Can I rush to take the blow in place of Alcestis?
You can try, yeah, try to defend.
Well, defend
Yeah.
or take a powerful blow? Or take a powerful blow is when I'm being punched at, right? So that would be defend.
Yeah.
Would you say that this makes me... because I have a power that says when you stand strong while dramatically under fire.
Yeah, this is
Would that work?
accurate.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then I use Savior instead of Danger.
great.
But since I'm afraid, I figure I still have the -2. Ooh, shit.
But you're not directly engaging a threat, you're defending, so the afraid won't affect that.
Okay, then I got 14.
Yeah, you step right in the middle of that. Do you want to add a team to the pool, take influence over Alcestis, or clear a condition?
I will clear a condition.
Cool.
I'll clear my afraid, actually. I have no time to be afraid at the moment.
Yeah, that was a pretty brave move, so makes sense.
Oh, actually, I was insecure. I had a -2, so that would be a 12 total instead of a... I don't know if it changes something.
It's still a super hit. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right, so I'm no longer afraid.
Cool. So she like rushed forward, and then do you just like drop Zhao? What do you place her gently?
I think what I'll do is, still holding on to Zhao, I would rush up and basically interpose my back, like put my back to Rainy, and facing Alcestis. So I'm still holding Zhao, kind of in an awkward position, like I can't really dodge away, but I'm gonna take the blow that that was the meant
And you're
for
going to
Alcestis.
take a powerful blow. Because I was
Yeah.
about to give that to Alcestis, so that'll be
Sorry.
yours.
Okay.
You don't have to be sorry.
Canadian politeness.
I know.
She
I was
punches
just
me and I
thinking
say
that.
sorry.
Somebody literally hit me with a bag of garbage one time, and I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Just how we do. So what was your roll?
I need to roll again, right?
Yeah, roll plus condition. So you just cleared one, so it'll just be a roll plus one.
Okay. 10 plus 1, 11.
Oh, dang. Okay, so you are either going to remove yourself from the situation, lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way, or choose two options from the 7 to 9 list, which is lashing out verbally to provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of influence to inflict a condition, or you give ground and your opposition gets an opportunity, or you struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
I think I would lose control of myself. If that's okay with you, I would, like, as soon as I'm hit in the back, drop Zhao onto Alcestis. Turn around to Rini, lashing out, saying something, screaming something like, okay, now that's enough! And I would take her and jump with her in the Hellball.
Oh, interesting.
Can you actually go in?
I don't know. I don't know if I can, but I want to drop her in there.
So we'll say that. Okay, so what you were trying to do is
Because I don't have any powers to, like, go wrong, so I think
you just lose control.
lose
and you
control
just
of
act
myself and do
impulsively.
do something completely stupid. And if it doesn't work, like if it's not enough, I'm gonna choose like the two options instead.
No, I like this. I like this. This vibes. This works. So what we'll say is that you scream at her, you lash out, and you kind of like grab her, and you start to move. Because remember that Hellball is still 10 feet away, so you start to like move towards her. And
Okay.
this, I'm gonna say, Harrow, Chameleon, you both see this happening. You see Simon or Vigil just like out of his mind with rage, like you've never seen before, and start to like look like he's about to jump into the Hellball. What do you do?
Okay. I just quickly look as like time starts to slow down in that moment, and I just go, Cammy, get Vigil. I'll deal with she bitch. And just going to fly quickly up to Rennie, do that sort of like not quite super speed, but just immediately as they're dragging, like nose to nose. And I'd like to provoke someone.
Okay.
Let's see how the roll goes and then the role play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is going to be plus superior. Apparently I've got a mouth on me. So that's a 13.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And nose to nose, eye to eye. You are nothing without that deck. Here, let me show you.
All right. And what is it that you want to provoke her to do?
Let's see here. From the table du jour, I want them to ignore everyone else and only focus all of their hate, all of their anger, all of their violence towards me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So she. Mm-hmm.
So just for the audience at home, if they do it, I add team to the pool. If they don't do it, they mark a condition.
That's for
Yeah.
PCs, not NPCs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. For NPCs, it's
they stumble, they err, or so you can either gain a critical opportunity, get a +1 towards them, or gain influence over them.
I'm gonna say overreact, and I gain influence over them.
Cool. So she kind of like pushes herself away from Vigil, sending him stumbling towards the hell portal as she like whirls on you with all of her rage and kind of like lashes out again. And you can see that like in her eyes, like it's personal now as she moves towards you to attack. Chameleon, what are you doing?
Amelia was in the process of, while all of this was going on, she'd kicked off the shoes and was in the process of becoming concrete, which is what I'm assuming this warehouse floor was made out of.
Mm-hmm.
So she's half transformed. So one tentacle lashes out at Harris and just snatches Vigil around the waist and wraps him in. But there's another one that's still concrete, and it just comes crashing down on top of Rini because she's focused on Harrow. She's not looking, and she's just gonna smash this concrete tentacle into the back of her head.
All right.
And I have not human enough, so I'm going to be directly engaging a threat in a terrifying fashion.
Mm-hmm. I'll say so.
So let me go ahead. Okay. Let's see. Plus danger. That is 6 plus 8. That's a 10.
A 10? Awesome.
A 10.
So you get to pick 2.
So I'm going to create an opportunity for Harrow. And I want her either surprised or frightened by what she's facing. I don't think that Rini has thought that she was going up against people as strong as she thought they were. I want her to revise that opinion and either be impressed or frightened, preferably frightened.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me is I mark a condition to choose an additional option.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. So my additional option, I want to take something from them. I want to take her confidence.
Okay. Abstract concept, but yeah, I'll give you that. So, as that cementicle, thank you, chat, crashes into Rini, you see her sort of like knock sideways with this dazed look on her face, and she staggers up to her feet and looks all around you. Chameleon, you have like a tentacle wrapped around Vigil standing there over her. Harrow, you're like floating, I imagine, up in the air, looming down at her. Alcestis, she's like surrounded by you. And you now see in her face as she registers like the precarious situation that she's in. And she sort of like takes a step backward. And then her head whips around to Zhao and she yells out, "Get up! You are as part of this as I am! Get up! Get up! You useless person!" And Zhao kind of like rolls over and groans and kind of moves away from Alcestis, looking back at her with one like apologetic sort of look in her eyes. And from underneath her shirt, she pulls out a sketchbook, and you just see as she starts to like draw furiously.
Is she still close to me?
Yeah, she was literally like on top of you, and then she just rolled over and started like sketching in this sketchbook.
I'm gonna be a bitch. Like Alcestis hasn't been so far. And she's gonna use the telekinesis to rip the sketchbook out of her hand, and then, like she's playing softball, make a deep throw from the outfield and try and hit home base.
Okay.
Like into the nothingness that is the elevator.
So, since you want to take that from her, I'm going to have you directly engage a threat.
Okay, I can do that.
And as she's scribbling furiously, you see, the rest of you see on the other side of the room, sort of like almost how Chameleon turned into cement from the ground, these figures like starting from the foot and then the ankle and then the leg, like building these golems out of cement, just forming out of nothingness in the air.
It's a 7.
Okay, that's a hit. Take one.
I'm going to take the sketchbook for her. I'm going to take the sketchbook from her and just chuck it deep.
Okay. As you rip it from her grasp and throw it out, she screams in pure like terror, agony, just like all of these things. And she lashes around again and she like scratches you across your face, almost like just a knee-jerk reaction. And you feel like your skin opening up across your eyes as she gets like a really good scratch into there, and you are going to mark guilty for that hit.
Cool, she's still guilty. Well, she already was guilty. I hadn't gotten rid of the condition yet.
Cool. You're still guilty.
I'm still guilty at everything. And she's just gonna look, although she feels guilty about it, she's gonna turn to her and say, "You know, I've had worse on a softball field. You don't hit anywhere near as hard as a fast pitch to the face, yo."
You have no idea what's happening. Stop. And she'll start to sort of like pull herself and crawl away. And then you see her continue to draw on the ground. So after a moment's beat, she's like sketching furiously on the ground, and the golems continue to form.
Okay.
Vigil, this is very new from your ex-girlfriend. You have not experienced anything like this before. What you do?
Zhao, Zhao, what are you doing?
Vigil, you don't understand. You don't understand what I did. You don't know who I am. That's what I keep telling you. You don't know who I am and what I've done. Your parents, they would still be here if it wasn't for me. I have to do this. I have to. And the golems are now up to their like chest.
I would like to comfort Zhao. I will run up to her and hold her, like, try as much as I can to go for a hug. and say, "It's okay, Zhao. Everything's gonna be okay. You didn't do anything. And even if you did, I forgive you. I'm sure my parents would forgive you as well. It's not your fault. Nothing was your fault."
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
I'm going to try. I'm also insecure. Oh, insecure doesn't affect that. Okay, cool. I forgive you, but I don't know if I would forgive myself. Plus mundane. Ooh, what's my mundane? Ooh, it sucks. Oh shit. I'm gonna roll 12.
12? Damn. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I rolled an 11 plus 1.
You wrap yourself around her. What do you want to do? So I'm not going to do anything. I'm an NPC. So you can either add a team to the pool or clear a condition for yourself.
I will add a team to the pool. What does team do?
So that's 4. So what team does is when someone else is doing something, if your character is in a position to help them, you can spend the team to give them a +1. So if,
okay.
Alcestis is trying to grab the notebook, you could say like Vigil steps in and like karate chops something and does something. And anyone can spend team selfishly to give yourself a +1, but then you have to like describe how your actions would ignore or insult your teammates. And then you can shift your labels to give you a plus.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with the team. And
So you got 4 team.
Yeah. So,
and you wrap your arms around her and you feel like her sobbing start to subside as she just like weakly finishes the last like she just like draws like a line across the thing that she was drawing, and you see the golem, which had been like up to half of its head, just half of it like collapses and falls to the ground like it had been cut with a katana or something. And she just like sobs and she's like, "You don't know, Vigil, you don't know. And Reedy's the only one that can help me, and I fucked up so bad." You've never heard her swear before, like real shit. Reenie, in the meantime, however, is taking no shit, and she's like, "Ugh, you're pathetic. I don't know why I have you do anything anymore." And she goes over to the golem and she like kicks it with her hoof, and you see like her hoof is embedded inside of his chest, and out of that cement like half golem starts to build like this gold creature. What would you like to do?
Chameleon walks over and goes, and she's just stripped. And she goes, "You can play at that game, bitch." And puts a hand on the golem and becomes identical to it. And
are you gold or cement? Because it's both now.
She's gonna take on both.
All right.
She's gonna take on both, and I want to be the monster. I want to frighten, intimidate, or cow her with my monstrous form.
She's already frightened, but she might become more so with this.
Okay. So I'm going to roll plus freak here. And that is a 10.
A 10?
So on a hit, they are thrown off and make themselves vulnerable to me, or they flee. On a 10 plus, I can choose to either frighten others you had not intended to scare, hurt someone or break something you shouldn't have, or feel like more of a monster afterward, and mark a condition the GM's choice. So, I will, I'll let you choose a condition. I already have angry and insecure marked.
Take. I think take hopeless as your monstrosity overwhelms you, and you know that you are never going to change, you're never going to be normal, it's always going to be like this, but at least in this instance you can do it for good.
What does
I-
it take to unleash a team moment? Or I'm sorry, moment of truth.
It's kind of a role play thing. So you can unleash moment of truth, I think, like twice over the course of a campaign, unless you like change playbooks or something crazy like that. But if you feel like this is your moment of truth, then this is your moment of truth and you can just do it.
It's easy to forget you're not your body and you're not the voice in your head. You're both. Be the monster, save them anyways. Smash down walls and speak softly, because when you embrace it, you can do anything. Of course, putting on a display like this is sure to rile up those who see only the monster when you look at them. Yeah, that's her. This is her moment of truth. She's embracing this monster.
And so as you become the monster, you embody it, you feel it through your entire being. And sure, maybe you're never going to change, but now is the time. You're saving your friends, you're doing good. And you swarm into this giant creature of gold and cement. You see Rini take a hesitant step backwards, eyes looking up at you wide and terrified. She looks back over her shoulder and she turns back to you all and snarls and she says, "This isn't over." She looks at Zhao. "I'll never forget how you betrayed me. This isn't over. I know more about you than any of these people ever will." And she runs off to the side of the room and jumps into the void and is gone. Zhao is underneath you, Vigil, just sobbing softly still. She runs a hand over the picture of the golem and like smudges the charcoal drawing, and the golem fades.
You okay?
You idiot. No, not okay. What the fuck?
No, I mean physically. You hurt?
No, I'm not. No. This is awkward. And she'll kind of like push you off of her and just sit up into a curled up little ball, put her head between her knees.
Is that why you didn't want us to be together?
Yeah. I didn't mean for it to happen. I didn't know that I could do these things. But your grandma, I was over there with your grandma and your parents wanted me to do this beautiful painting of them to surprise you with for the home. And it was such a beautiful painting, and I wanted to draw them in Tien. But then when I finished the painting, they were gone. They just disappeared. And that's when I realized that my art becomes things. And your grandma knew, and she never told you, and I'm so sorry. It was all my fault, but I couldn't look at you after that. How could I? I was the reason your parents are wherever they are, or dead, or I don't know what. I don't understand any of this.
Wherever it is you sent my parents. And Vigil would look back at the sphere for a moment. I have the feeling they're very happy about it.
The parent sphere is gone because Alcestis
I'm just looking at emptiness. Well, they were
easy for you to
probably
say.
happy. I saw them earlier.
You saw them the way I painted them, Vigil. I don't know if that means anything.
Then can't you just paint them out of it?
I've tried, but there's something I can't really control what I do super well yet. Rini was helping me with it. She was teaching me how to paint things for her deck, and that was creating other things that were happening.
Rewind. You were painting things for her deck that were then happening because she could use the deck that you painted. Is that it?
Kind of. So
So
I don't understand any of this.
So Harrow, we need to introduce her to your boss.
And with that, Harrow just takes the deck, quick shuffle, not even thinking, and immediately draws Striga's card. And just goes, puts it to his forehead. I need you now.
There is no answer. Is your boss scary? I don't listen. I don't understand any of this stuff. I'm just supposed to be human. I'm just supposed to be the freaking high schooler. I don't know anything that's happening. All I know is that Rini somehow found out about what was happening, and she had this deck that looked kind of like yours, but it was all blank. And she said she needed someone to draw for it. Oh my god. Sorry, I don't know when my headset died. I totally fully charged it. 1 second. Yeah, and so she said she just needed someone to draw for the deck, and so I did, and then when I would draw things on the deck, then they would become like monsters, and when she put the cards on someone, they would turn into a monster, but then they would be able to be turned back. But she said that it all had something to do with like what happened to her, and something about like her parents did something to her to help her be not a cripple anymore, but now she's a monster, and it's just so much. And I just did, I just did one thing and then another, and then people kept getting hurt, and then I couldn't talk to anyone about it, and I was all alone, and Q was my only friend, and I just didn't know what to do, and I'm so sorry.
It's all right, Zhao. I have one awkward question for you as I hug her. I have one awkward question for you, and then we can just get out of here.
Okay.
Did you draw Sean Savior?
No. Sean is friends with Rini somehow. They know each other, and I think that he had something to do with all of this happening, but I didn't draw him, no.
Okay.
We need to get out of this dimensional plane.
Yeah. But... no, let's go.
Alcestis, how are you feeling? Think you can give us a lift?
It's just energy. Doesn't matter where it goes. It's all just energy. And she's kind of staring at that hell sphere and turns and goes, yeah, let's take a lift.
Cammy puts a hand on Alcestis, 1, to test her temperature, to see if she's burning up again, and 2, and it's kind of that, if you've ever seen the Fantastic Four, how the Thing's voice is that gravelly kind of, you want me to go look for him?
Nope. Because whatever that is, it's not real.
All right.
It's what they drew.
What's her temperature like?
Warm. She did overexert herself a little bit, but she's had some cool down time. When you say it's whatever they drew, Zhao sniffles, and she just goes, no, not that one. That one was different. That one is evil. Rini's parents died to open that portal under the CN Tower, when all the demons got loose. They were trying to create the deck for Rini to cure her of her ailment, and instead they created this monstrous force that opened up that portal to hell, and now it is that is the last doorway, the true
Million
one.
steps through. She's gonna go find Alcestis' brother.
Yeah, Alcestis is right behind her.
You both disappear. I
No, I felt really good by you calling me Vigil. I'll look at Harrow. Dude, I have to stay with Zhao.
I know. Okay.
Go.
No. Doing things right. The eyes go completely green. Okay. I'm going to get all of us out of here. And that portal is coming with me. And just grabs a hand. Go try use the powers to essentially tow this dimensional portal with me.
Into the portal.
No. Just I am going to drag this thing,
The orb.
the orb, back with us, and if I have any say about it, is going into the basement of Hellhome.
So basically, you're doing a card thing to try and teleport into Hellhome and bring.
Yeah, and drag this thing with me. So, first, let's see what card gets pulled. Second, let's see if it works.
Interesting setup. I love the creativity.
I'm dragging it with me. I pulled the Teamster.
Oh no, we transform into an 18-wheeler.
As long as none of us end up as a cement pillar in the Meadowlands, we're all good.
What was the end zone?
Nah, it's pretty sure it's the cement pillars.
Oh, okay.
Well, because
It's
they were
somewhere.
pouring the concrete at the time.
Right. That's okay.
10.
All right. That is a hit. So, how would you like to move this thing when you know that touching it creates the thing?
I had my moment. I had the deck. And when you have your moment, something gets locked. Superior is now locked. And he got to meet and in a way become part of this group. Those who have held the eye. And he pulls the Teamster card, just kind of concentrates. And then throws the card, but there's after images of multiple different folks that have all threw the card. The card hits, becomes larger, and then opens up into that one portal that's at the bottom of Hellhome, the one that Strega uses. And he just reaches out like he's going to touch the orb, and like 50 other hands, ephemeral, just grab hold of it and drag it behind him.
Cool. Very cool. That happens, and you are in the basement of Hellhome Manor.
And then
Vigil-
he collapses. Once they're all through and the portal closes, he's just like Ric Flair 1, 2, 3 steps face right onto the floor.
Yeah, Vigil and Zhao, you watch this happen, and her eyes are like anime style giant half of her face now as this is happening, and she's like, who are your friends? What is going on?
This is sort of where we live. It's Harrow's, Striga's, Harrow's mentors, Striga. It's her place. And, that's where we live. Sometimes. Not I go back to my grandma from time to time, but I have a room here. And it's a pretty sweet place.
As
Yeah.
you're rambling, she has just like completely wrapped herself around you, is kind of like half sobbing, half laughing into your chest. And she's like, two of your friends have just walked into a hell portal, and you're here explaining to me your living situation with this guy who also opened up a portal. And all I wanted to do was draw things, and everything is falling apart. And this is why we broke up. But now I can't think of being with anyone else other than you, because I just need you in my life for all of this to make sense. Do you understand me, Adam? And she kind of like shakes you. She's like, do you understand what I'm saying?
To break the moment, just still face down on the floor, just a hand points up. And he goes, "There's chocolate cake in the fridge upstairs." And hand just collapses back down.
Everything is weird. It's always been part of our lives. It's okay to be weird, Zhao. It's kind of cool, actually. And yeah, my friends are in that hell portal, and I should really go help. I don't know how time works in that portal, but you're the most important person in my world.
And she smashes her face into yours for like the wettest, most painful kiss ever, as she's just like out of her mind. And she's like, yes, I need you. I'm so sorry. I love you. Please.
I love you too, Zhao.
At least somebody's getting smooched.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does it count? Is she a teammate that I made out with?
I mean, do you think she'll be part of the team now?
I want her to be part of the team.
Then I say sure.
Nice, that's one more drive.
Also, you went to a different dimension.
Oh shit!
Woo!
That's 2 drives.
What's your last one?
Punch someone I shouldn't. I punch Harrow.
You're like, just break off from the kiss and just.
My life is complete.
No,
or punch out.
if it's something like that, if since this is the big finale, I just see the hand coming back up to interrupt this moment and say something snarky.
Oh,
and then Vigil's boot just comes down and smashes the hand. And then, if we're doing this as a comic, there is just the tiny word bubble that just says "ow."
A tiny how. Well, if you let me step on you, I mean. Do you?
To appeal to our viewers, step on me, Daddy.
Cool. I am at full potential.
What will you do with all of it?
I know what I'll do. After stepping on Arrow's hand, Vigil will turn around to Zhao and dust off his costume. And I know this is gonna sound crazy, Zhao, but I need to do this. I need to go and save my friends. Because this is what heroes do. And he would put his mask on and unlock his moment of truth. When I show them exactly why I belong here. I do only one thing, no matter how insane, no matter how ridiculous, because that's you. Their jaws are gonna drop when you're done. Of course, pulling off a stunt like this tends to bring unwanted attention, but Vigil didn't read that sentence.
And a dangerous reputation. But he also didn't read that part.
I don't need to. Here's what I want to do. Vigil puts on his mask, dusts off his costume, stands tall, maybe taller than usual. Looks at Zhao and says, with his best Batman voice that he's been practicing in front of the mirror. I'll be back. And he jumps into the portal. And my moment of truth is whatever is happening on the other side. Like, I would like to be able to intervene if the Alcestis and Cammy get in danger.
All right.
Because I don't know what's happening on the other side, so I don't want to take agency away from them.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I'll do something insane on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
As a real hero.
And then we will flash back to Chameleon and Alcestis when they first went through the portal. So, being unaware of all of that has happened, you slide into the portal. And at first, you're hovering in the blackness, the nothingness. And then, like almost with an audible snap, you feel your feet land and you just see the ground underneath you. It is a dark red stone. You both kind of like look up slowly and see that all around you is like roiling magma and volcano, the usual hell stuff. But this dark red path is just stretching before you, and you see that it ends in kind of a either of you watch Sailor Moon? Yeah, sort of Megaverse style, that column of just evil entity is ahead of you about 100 feet away.
I have a very vital question.
Mm-hmm.
Which of the knights are standing in that pathway? It's important to know.
Malachite.
Ooh, okay.
Zoisite. And Beryl.
Oh, fuck Beryl.
Yeah. But no, none of them are. It is just an empty path, and all around you, you can hear the screams, just screams and screams and screams of demons and tortured souls and all of that. But they seem to be kind of far away. Your whole attention is brought to this pillar in front of you that just stretches up to an infinite mass. It's a miasma of color, of purple and dark reds and burgundies and all of this. And Alcestis, you hear ever so faintly, just like almost like a whisper in your ear, that voice, which you have heard recently because you have a twin brother who has the same voice, but you know that the tone is Polynesian, and he sounds mad. Like they aren't forming actual words. It's just this low mumble of
And I think she's just gonna like yell out and kind of bolster it with the like nascent telepathy that she has, mostly with her family and Cammy, and just say, "Hey, Nike, you're late for dinner. Mom sent me to come get you, you dumbass."
The voice kind of like stops, and then this low grating noise, almost like a laugh. Come and get me then.
That sound like an invitation to you, Cammy?
Cammy has heard none of this.
Oh.
Are we going there? Or
Yeah.
there?
No, we're
There?
going there. And she kind of points to the tower at the top.
Okay. And she's become the red stone pathway, and one tentacle reaches out and dips into the magma. So now that she is the red stone pathway with tentacles of magma, let's go.
Can I just have art of this? I just need art of this.
Mm-hmm. I need art of all of this. Someone please make this a comic book, because that would be cool. All right. So you start walking towards the, I don't know what we're going to call it. We'll call it the tower. That makes sense. The tower. Each step you take towards the tower, it feels like there's a burning within you, kind of a heat growing. And as you start to get closer, as clearly as if she was standing there, you kind of just hear like Cordelia's voice. Both of you hear it now as her voice just kind of calls out, "You're never going to make it. Nobody wants you here. You're never going to save your brother." Then you keep walking and walking, And then next you hear Sean Savior's voice just saying, "It's hopeless, you know. You barely have any powers between the both of you. You need a real hero to do this. A real man to take care of this. What are you two gonna do?"
Yeet you into the magma. Keep talking, asshole.
When you say that response, you hear that low chuckle again.
Hey, Nike. Italically has changed your room and painted it green.
I hate that color. And the tower sort of like spurts and spits a little bit ahead of you. When you get within, I'll say, how close do you want to get? Because you don't really know what it's made out of yet. It's sort of like your mind is just breaking and it's just this like swirl of color ahead of you.
I mean, she'll keep going until she sees her brother. I don't know what, and
Cammy's just following right along with Alcestis. Yeah, she will literally follow her friend into hell and has. And,
right
whatever.
now, by the way, the theme track is the mini track for Alcestis and Cammy, which is "Freak Like Me, Daughters of Darkness and Apocalypse" by Hellstorm.
Perfect. Love it. As you approach the miasma, maybe you hesitate for a moment, not really hesitate, but just sort of like, all right, here goes. And you walk through it. It feels like as you're passing through it, I don't know how to describe this other than you feel the colors. You feel all of that red and purple rippling across your skin. Cammy, you feel it too, despite your stone skin. And it's almost like you can feel your skin start to shift and stretch. Both of you. Cammy, you're used to your skin stretching, but Alcestis, this is new for you. And then it feels like you're walking through it for like an impossibly long amount of time. And then suddenly you're on the other side and everything is like a beautiful palace. It's all red lacquer, black accents everywhere. Has sort of a Chinese motif to it, it seems like. And there are a number of demons that are lounging around, demons of the Chinese variety with the huge eyes and the horns, vaguely dragon shaped. They don't seem to take notice of you, but they all seem to be like lounging around in this place. And you're in like a courtyard of sorts with all these demons around you. And ahead of you, you see two people. One of them is very familiar. It is Starsight. And upon seeing you, she sort of nods and turns to her partner, who you assume is Protag. What's their name? Yeah, Protag. She turns to the partner and at Protag and she says, "My dear, it seems we have visitors. Can I help you?"
Yeah, you took something from me. I'm here to get it back. And she's with me.
And the magma tentacle waves and then just flicks a bit of magma at them.
When you flick the magma at them, all of the demons that had been lounging around now kind of like perk up and like turn to face you in sort of what you assume is an intimidating manner. But she just waves a hand nonchalantly and she says, "I don't take anything. I only give. I give so much. I gave everything to my children, and look how they repay me. Trapped here, with no one but these demons and my lover for company."
Bitch, please. Cry me a river.
Get.
Protag, you've gotten the description of Starsight, but Protag you haven't really seen much of yet. Picture sort of a sailor Uranus, short blonde hair, tall, skinny, wearing like a red sort of latex suit. She just steps towards you with this nonchalant expression on her face and says, "So you think you're looking for someone here? How did you even get here?"
And she kind of turns and looks at Cammy. It's like, I mean, was it supposed to be hard?
We just walk through.
It's kind of what I did. I mean, they left a
Yeah.
portal unguarded. They left it in the care of like a preteen.
Oh,
A
sorry
preteen?
Yeah, sorry about the kid.
I'm really not.
Are you talking about my Rini? Starsight asks from her throne.
Oh, so you're acknowledging that it's your daughter that you left in the care of a hell portal. Do you think we should call DFAX on her?
That'll be
Yeah,
hard to
sounds-
do from here.
I really don't think so.
Oh, hey,
Like,
Nika,
Alcestis is-
you really should have listened to your brother. He's right more often than you think.
Mm-hmm.
You hear again that chuckle. Painted my room green. But there's no body to accompany the voice, and Starsight continues talking as if she hadn't heard anything, and she says, I opened that portal as a way to cure Rini because she wasn't strong enough. She wasn't strong like us. She wasn't strong like Q. And she needed to be stronger. And I'm assuming that because you are here, she probably did something quite strong.
Oh God, they're monologuing again. Like mother, like daughter. Jesus.
I mean, can we just introduce them to Strega? I think they would, like,
Yeah.
they obviously need parenting advice. I don't want to introduce them to my mother because I'm pretty sure that my mother would just kill them.
Yeah.
Who is your mother?
Do you even know who I am?
You have a look of someone familiar.
Well, my brother's here. Because he
Is
closed
he?
your portal for you. You left a door open.
We were killed, so it's hard to tie up those loose ends when you're dead. But thank your brother for me if you see him again.
Well,
I have not seen anyone here, except for my beloved.
I mean, and whose fault is that?
Fault is such a human thing. It has been an awfully long time since I was human.
So what are you if you're not human? Besides a bitch.
I'm not sure anymore. I exist here with Protag in this realm, in this space. The demons respect me because we were the ones to open the portal, and yet we don't die. We have tried to die. We have tried to live, and we can do nothing but exist in this world.
Hmm.
And I suspect that this is what will happen to you now, for there is no way out.
There's always a way out. Or in my case, there's a way to cheat.
The confidence of youth. Well, if you would be so kind as to hurry up and figure that out, then I'm sure,
Sure.
we would all love to be on our way.
Hey, Harrow, can you send your boss over? I think there's some people that need to introduce her to.
You don't get a response from the
Okay.
card.
Well, that answers that question. And she just puts it away. But she doesn't act like it failed. Does that make sense?
Bluff check, real strong. Starsight gets up and comes up and takes Protag's hand, and they just sort of walk past you, and they say, well, we're all here together now. No sense in fighting or snapping at each other. Why don't you go and explore? We'll be around.
Cool. I look forward to introducing you to my family after the fact. By the way, at least one of your children is nice.
Yes. Q
I
was
mean-
always such a good person. Always tried to look after their sister.
Honestly, he's the hottest of the bunch.
Protag like kind of grins at that, and she's like, well, they are our kid. Rini was born beautiful as well, but with a twisted body, she grew up with a twisted heart. We tried to save her, tried to do more for her.
I don't think her heart was twisted by her body. I'm pretty sure it was twisted by the parents that thought opening a portal to hell would be helpful. Just
Chameleon, at that point, this is part of me coming out in this. Chameleon just looks at her and goes, you need to shut up, and just lashes out with the magma tentacle and just smacks her across the face. Just don't ever, ever say anything like that about your child again.
Give me directly engage a threat. Muted.
Yep, opening up.
Mm.
Pages here. Can I call this my move that I'm directly engaging a threat in a terrifying fashion? Or no?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's see. All right. I just rolled double sixes. Plus
Nice.
danger is a +2. That's a total of 14.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely a hit. So pick 2 of these things, and I'll give you a +1 influence over pro tag.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I have to. I am going to. I want them impressed. And do I think that they're about to strike out at me as well?
Nah, she doesn't seem like it.
I want to create an opportunity for Alcestis to step in and make a move of some kind. Whatever. And in creating that opportunity, I guess it's kind of like I want to use that like a team move to give them a +1 on whatever their next roll is against one of these, against Protag.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. Protag just lifts a finger to her cheek where you see like a singed red mark, and then it just kind of closes over as if it never existed. And she looks up at you with a new level of respect in her eyes, and she's like, I see that fire isn't just in that tentacle of yours. There's fire in your heart. Never let go of that.
You did.
Yeah, well, having kids will change you. Trust me. We don't always make the best decisions, but we loved Rini and we loved Q. We weren't trying to open a hell portal. We were just informed by someone that in creating a magical artifact like this deck, we would be able to save Rini from a life of pain.
And who gave you that information?
An interesting woman. What was her name, my dear? And Starsight kind of like looks around and looks off in the distance, and she says, a friend of mine, once upon a time, before all of this happened.
So when did you piss off Strega Nocte so bad that she fucked you over this hard?
You know her as well? Yeah. She is an interesting woman. I don't remember ever fucking her over. I thought we were friends once. But then something changed. I don't know what.
Well, I have a brother to find, and you have hell to deal with. I mean, I can just sit here and tell you that your entire family doesn't even acknowledge that you're gone.
That is disappointing. But as long as they are alive and well, what more can we ask for?
I can't guarantee Rini will be alive for long.
Or well.
Nobody ever could. Just if you can. You don't owe us anything, but try to maybe spare her from too much pain. I don't know what she has done to you or anything about the woman she has become, but
And at
She
that,
was good.
Alcestis will literally turn her back on this woman and go, just flicker off and walk away and go, just call out, "Hey, Nike, it's time to come home. Dinner's ready."
all right. And you two separate and start walking in other opposite directions. And that's where we will take a quick break.
All right, stick around,
Brr.
everyone. We'll be back in hell in about 5 minutes.
And maybe we'll break it even. Bye bye.
we're back! Hello, everyone. Haha!
Sneaky, very sneaky, like mid-sentence. Awesome. All right, so we are back. Alcestis and Chameleon, you have turned away from Starsight and Protag as they walk off into the distance. You are entering into the palace. And so you're coming in through the courtyard and picturing it like a Chinese palace. There's like a corridor in front of you and a number of rooms and stuff. All around you are these demons that just seem to like turn and look at you. And you notice as you're passing more of them, they're not all Chinese based. They seem to be like a mixture of all kinds of different mythological demons. But at that moment, right as you're walking away, Vigil appears in some fashion. How would you like to pop into this?
I think if I can do whatever.
Yes, you can.
Vigil comes down from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And superhero lands between Alcestis and Cammy and Starsight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like in the dead center, like splitting the distance between the two groups.
Mm-hmm. Starsight and Protag had been walking, like everyone has their backs to you, but
yeah, so nobody
considerable
sees how cool Vigil is. But I do the cool superhero landing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
Starsight turns around at the sound and sees you.
Really, nobody.
I mean,
is-
if you wanted us to see it, I'm sure it looked great. And she kind of shouts over her shoulder.
Is that a friend of yours?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it seems like the gateway is weaker than we thought.
Yep.
Hope
Maybe.
you'll all find a way out.
Or you're weaker than you thought.
Wait, there's no fight? I came to help
Oh no,
save people.
that'll happen. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's coming.
That's coming.
One of your friends slapped my wife.
I'm sure she deserved it.
Oh yeah, by the way, these are Rainy's parents, and they thought they needed to open a portal to hell to make her stronger.
They thought she was broken just because her legs didn't work.
All of this is being taken very far out of context. Believe what you will. We aren't really alive anymore, so we don't super care. But enjoy yourself.
Where's
in
Sean's
hell.
savior?
Who?
He's a dick. He's not here. Don't worry about it. We're gonna go find my brother. Come on.
I did all of this for nothing.
No. You did all this is for a lot of really good things. You showed off really good.
And I'm just gonna jog after Alcestis and Chameleon.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you walk away to enter the Palace of Hell. Flashback. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
As they're walking in, she'll turn to she'll look at Cammy and it's like, I know Cammy knows this rule, but like, Vigil, you remember you can't eat anything here, right?
What?
What are you eating, though?
Pocket cookie. He has a pocket cookie.
Vigil had a pocket cookie. I had a snack.
No, I don't.
My grandma packed snacks in my suit in case I get hungry.
A dumpling.
Pocket dumplings.
What?
Emergency dumpling rations.
It's
yes.
better than pocket bacon for sure. Cammy looks and Adam goes, and this kind of tentacle of lava almost touches the suit because, I don't suppose that thing's fireproof.
No, I'm not fireproof.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
All right. So, flashback to Harrow. Zhao is standing there next to you very awkwardly and tear-stained and, all her mess of hair just like staring at the portal. And she's just like, we just got back together and I already want to break up with him. Did he just fucking leave me to walk through a portal to hell? Are you fucking kidding me?
He's a good man, but the self-preservation instinct's not strong with my one. As he drags himself off the floor and just sort of like not even looks at Zhao, just stares at the portal. I'm gonna have to do something really stupid to fix that. Okay, first things first. I can't, open and close portals across dimensions without something on my stomach. Cake? That's when he turns to Zhao.
Yeah, I could use some cake. Yeah,
Okay.
something normal, please.
They go upstairs, they go to the kitchen. With the emphasis on normality, he doesn't do the magical opening of everything. He actually manually just opens up cabinets, grabs plates, grabs cake, slices cake, slides her one, has his slice, puts everything back, and then just goes, okay. So Rini had you make a lot of things. Anything involving magical talismans, portals, anything of that nature?
I drew a lot of things for the deck. There were a lot of different commissions, but talismans, no. There was oh frick, what's the word? A laurel. I drew a laurel on one of them that she asked for, but I think that would be the closest thing.
Okay. Good to know. That eliminates that possibility.
Adam's gonna be okay, right? He's gonna come back, right?
I'm working on that. As he stuffs the last slice, going, as he pulls out his deck and goes, there's two possibilities here. Either you'll actually show up this time and you'll help me. I'm going to get no answer. So let's find out.
Who are you talking to?
The one woman in the cosmos who could do this the easy way. And he just flips the card. You're not going to show up. He pulls the sickness.
And Disturb starts playing in the background.
Okay. I know what I gotta do.
As you say that, there's like a sound that sounds like this huge crash of lightning or thunder. That's the word, thunder. Huge crash of thunder. And the house starts to vibrate. And Zhao looks around. She's like, what the fuck is happening now? And then bam, right next to you, it's like this lime green rip in space that just sort of like appears like a zipper opening. And out from it steps Dragon Nocte, except her hair is like fully, I don't know what, like frizzed out all around her like a halo, and the side of her face and neck are severely burned as she grabs you, and she's like wild-eyed. You've never seen her like this before. It's like she's completely lost all of her composure. She seems very badly hurt, but she just grabs you, Harrow, and she says, Harrow, you have to come with me now. And she literally starts to like drag you along beside her down into the basement.
I let myself be dragged for now. But if she tries to drag me out of this house without saving my friends, there's going to be a fight. Okay,
good to know. Zhao is kind of like following behind you, panic, like, what the fuck? Who is this? Who are you? Where did you come from? What are you doing? And she's just like, shut up, girl. Hera, you have to come with me. Something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. I know I don't always tell you everything. I know I haven't been a good mother or mentor or what, but this is the moment. This is where I need you the most. You have to go and you have to break this dimension. You have to go there. I don't know what's going on there. Starsight is there, Protag is there, and they are up to something. They are going to bleed hell into this world. And she drags you down into right before the portal, and she has you by the cape, and she's looking like deep into your eyes, and she says, Harrow, I've known you a long time. I've taken you out of a desperate situation and thrust you into another, but I believe in you, and this is something that only you can do. And then she goes to push you into the portal.
As she's about to push me, I feet drag, stops. Going in, damns us all. The only anchor on this side. And as we found out, there's only one way to open this thing. There's only one way to close it. And he just stares at Zhao. You're going to paint something. And just with politeness be damned, starts pulling for the books that are in the house that I'm not supposed to read, but definitely have by this point. They come flying off the shelves of the library and just spread themselves out before him, with numbers of different texts. And he's just telling Zhao, I need that painted on this arm. I need that one painted on this arm. And I need you, as he lifts his shirt, I need you to paint that portal over my heart.
Whoa, 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 what are you doing? It's my girlfriend.
Maybe not for long.
And go try and do something very stupid, but I think we need to cut back to my friends now.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm sorry, Harrow, but Strega watches all of this happen kind of in a trance, and then when you start to explain the portal, she shakes her head and she goes, no, there's no time. You have to go now. And she places a hand over your face, and everything just goes black as her sorceress powers overwhelm you, and you feel yourself being wrapped in these bands of necrotic energy as she lifts up your body and thrusts you through the portal. And the last thing you see is Zhao's scared face and Strega's eyes boring into yours with all of this intent and trying to convey this message to you. You must break the hell. And you land with your friends. And all of you are in a palace in some hell dimension with no way to get home or contact anyone, and looking for Alcestis's brother. And that's where we'll wrap up this short shot.
Well then. It feels like there has got to be a second issue.
Yeah, it really does. It really, really does. What will we do? What is Strega's true intentions? All of these things. But before we wrap this up, there are a few things that I want to know. So first thing, we're going to do end of session stuff. So everyone, are you going to grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team? Vigil.
Yeah, Vigil would grow closer.
Mm-hmm.
He understands his role as part of the team now, and he had a chance to just abandon everyone for Zhao, and still he didn't. I don't know what happens when I do that, though.
When you grow closer, you will give blah, 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 blah. Yeah, give influence to a character and clear a condition or mark potential.
So I give influence to someone, and I choose one of the other two.
Mm-hmm.
I will clear my insecure,
Mm-hmm.
and I will give influence over to Harrow.
All right. So Harrow, you have another one influence over Vigil. Who wants to go next?
Chameleon, in embracing her moment, has, I think, finally grown into her image of herself. She's locked freak,
Mm.
and she has accepted this is what she is. And part of it feels sorry for Rini. She understands parents that can't accept you for what you are or how you were born. Their need to make you acceptable in their own eyes.
Mm.
And she's come to terms with what that meant for her. And so I'm going to be shifting some labels here.
Mm-hmm.
I think superior is going to go up by 1.
Hmm. Get that
Uh,
confidence.
Yeah. But I think savior is going to go down by 1. Because it's not about... No, I think I'm gonna do that backwards. I think the savior is going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
Because she sees herself once she stepped into hell, once she took that step unhesitatingly to go after Alcestis' brother. It was accepting who you are means finding the hero inside of you.
Hmm.
But I think she's gonna go down in superior.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She doesn't see herself as better than anyone else. She just is what she is.
Hmm. Love it. Great growth today, Cami. Alcestis? Harrow?
Definitely grow closer to the team.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the escapades and the madness, just having Cammy believe in him in that moment meant the world. And so yeah, Chameleon, get influence, and I'm going to clear hopeless.
All right. Cami?
If I may, I already have influence over you, which means I get to adjust your label.
Okie dokie.
So, what have you got there?
That's not locked. I've got danger at -1, freak at 0, savior at 2, and mundane at 0.
You are definitely not mundane. That one's going down.
Okay. Legit.
And what were the others? I'm sorry. Ramon's past me again.
The other ones that are available are savior, freak, and danger.
Savior goes up.
Okay.
Even the dog
Oh,
can
dog.
recognize what a hero you are.
Yes. Sorry.
That's okay.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
Actually, in that case, I already had things on vigil, so we need to shift you.
Oh,
So what's locked?
nothing for me.
You have your
you
moment.
and yeah.
When you unlock your moment, you get to lock
Oh.
one of your.
If I lock it, I can't ever move it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's correct.
You're becoming set in yourself. That is why your moment of truth occurred.
Okay, then my moment of truth, I think, would lock Savior.
Makes sense.
Okay. In that case, I think we're going to shift your mundane down, because you have not been mundane this entire episode.
Nope.
And we're going to shift up freak, because you have been just barreling through things
Mhm.
and have touched things that are beyond this realm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Without hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
Literally jumped right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did lose control of myself for a moment. Like there was a part of it that was like excessive,
But
but that's it.
he still did it. What a team. And last but not
Yes.
least,
Okay, so two things. First of all, I filled my Doom track, so I'm going to add for my Doom Science portal.
oh, how convenient.
Extremely, isn't it?
Great.
Just thrown out there that Alcestis is prepared because she is a daughter of Greek mythology, and she knows how to get out theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she did grow closer to the team, particularly just in embracing kind of a bunch of things. And oddly appropriate enough, the song goes to Here's to Us from Hailstorm. As just becomes team, and I think it's one of those. I think she's going to give influence over to Vigil, because she's and clear guilty, or no, clear afraid. She's going to keep the guilty.
I
Okay.
already had influence over you.
Yep.
So I get to change your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I move one up and one down. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, none of mine are locked because I didn't have a moment of truth.
After
You
what
just filled your doom.
I just filled my doom.
After what happened in the other, like the room with the spheres, I would move your danger up by 1.
Okay. That makes it +2.
And I would move your mundane down by 1. My thinking behind it is that you, with the display of power that you've made, you are definitely like dangerous. Your powers are dangerous.
Yeah. It's like she's doomed or something.
Yeah, almost. And I move mundane down by 1 because I feel that with everything that you went through, the power that you had flowing through you, your irreverence at many things that were otherworldly today. Like, I don't feel that this is a mundane response.
Yeah,
What
I think it's
happened?
one of those. It's like I can definitely see Vigil having that. It's like that's not normal, and Alcestis being like,
Yeah.
"It's normal to
Like
my
you proved,
family."
yeah, that's it. You proved more, like once more, that you came from a lifestyle of superheroes. Like you're accustomed to this shit.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Well, I'm gonna miss this team while we're on our break, but hopefully we'll come back to it again. But before we go, I also want to know, Beacon, what are your new drives? Because you get 4 new ones.
Yes. So my new drives are lead the team successfully in battle. Partly because Vigil wants to, like, now that he considers himself part of the team, now he wants to go like a step forward. Like he wants to do more, get more involved.
And you locked your savior, so you now see yourself as like a very defensive person,
Yeah.
taking care of others.
I have save a teammate's life
Mm-hmm.
because, again, savior.
Mm-hmm.
I basically took like 4 that were very like adult superhero.
Classic vigil.
Except for one.
Mhm.
Outperform an adult hero is the
Mhm.
3rd one because I can. And the last one is punch someone you probably shouldn't. No,
Didn't you
that one I
already take
already
that
had.
one?
Oh shit, that's true. Because I punched. Okay, wait.
Oh damn! I just saw that there's one that says punch out a teammate, which would have been appropriate.
yeah.
But
Okay, you know what? Get a new costume.
you already did that one too.
You already did that one.
No, that was the first one. Well, drive a fantastical vehicle.
All right.
I mean, I got the costume, I got the stuff. Now I should. It's because I erased them from my sheet. I shouldn't have erased them.
It's okay. We'll remember.
We will. Does
Mhm.
this mean there's going to be a chase scene in hell?
Oh, no. I have a dream. The next time that I feel potential, because there's this one beautiful thing for Protege, is you get more stuff off the list of things that you get for the base. And
Upgrade the base.
One of them's a vehicle. I have my eyes on a very specific car.
Not the Volvo anymore.
No.
Saying Alcestis' Volvo isn't good enough.
Since I saw one of the previous incarnations, the previous holders of the eye, his car's in mothballs. Strega has the car. I want the car.
I just want Adam driving a facsimile of Apollo's chariot through hell.
Yes.
That would
And
also
with
be
his face
super
being
cool.
like,
Yes.
Yeah, I realized that I would need to do what I want to do with, like, to achieve what I want to achieve with Vigil. I need 20 more potential.
yeah, miss some more rolls.
I
mean-
yeah, that was shit. Tonight was just, I couldn't miss on anything, and I wish I missed.
In the entire campaign, I have only marked potential twice.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've got.
Well,
Great.
tonight was I marked potential twice. 2 potential on the 2nd episode, and then the rest tonight.
So you never.
It's
know
just
how
there
it
was
goes.
a lot, like, in one shot, but no, because I want to switch to a different playbook.
Ooh.
As he becomes
Oh.
more of a hero, I feel that the Janus would be more appropriate
Okay.
to him. Like,
Well, now
as
that
he
you're kind
becomes a quote unquote real hero.
Yeah, you've got the mask. You're coming into your own. You're getting your life back.
Yeah.
And we found out what happened to your parents, which was one of the mysteries that was plaguing me. No, absolute delight.
So, like, I'm probably gonna start with my potential picking up moves from the Janus moveset.
Interesting. Yeah, I was looking at that too because I was like, I just realized if Alcestis fills up her potential to get one of those achievements, like if she fills up her potential track more than she fills up her doom track, she could just change playbooks and end her doom.
I can confront your doom on your terms. If you survive, you change playbooks.
It would make sense for her if she survives to become a legacy.
One of Chameleon's advancements is take a doom track, and doom signs from the Doom playbook.
Oh,
I can see them swapping. Cammy taking the doom for Alcestis.
Dang.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna let you do that. Good try. That would be the
Yeah.
ultimate fight. Like the whole doom is happening and it's on pause because Cammy and Alcestis is fighting about which one of those gonna be.
It's like fighting over who picks up the bill.
Exactly.
I want it. Give it to me.
No, have you seen the Wujan? I forget what movie it's from, but they're literally fighting over the bill at the restaurant. with the it starts with the chopsticks fighting, and then they're
Yes,
going into
yes.
That
the
sounds so familiar.
soy, and
Yeah.
they're fighting with, it's like fighting, you know.
It's
It's-
not from
No, it's not. It's a contemporary film.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen
It's
that.
set in
I know the
contemporary.
scene that you're talking about. Yeah,
It'd be like that.
Mm.
I mean, she could always mutate further.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm. Well, the point is, I guess we're gonna have to play some more Masks at some point
yes.
and see the second issue of this comic book. But I hope that all of you and everyone who's watching has enjoyed this. I have thoroughly enjoyed this, and I'm already like my head is spinning coming up with next season, which will start off in hell.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have a girlfriend. I can't stay in hell anymore.
I was so hoping that you were going to take one of the drives, which is break up with someone. And you and Zhao are just going to be the Ross and Rachel forever.
No, like I will have to take it because you have to clear all of the drives at some point.
Mm.
So yes, the romance between Zhao and Adam is bound to break at some
Not
point.
if you
but-
change playbooks.
You could always
Yes.
break up with your grandmother and move into the mansion full time.
Oh, she'd be heartbroken.
I can't do that to my grandma.
and odds are Grandma would just show up at the mansion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
should be.
Oh,
should
I
be
live here
angry.
now.
Granny and Varun fighting over control of the kitchen.
No, there's only one control, and that's Grandma.
Yeah.
I know how the
So-
fight will go down, and my money's on Grandma.
But no,
Yeah.
the way the drives are basically set up, I'm thinking, and like, I don't want to derail whatever ideas you have, Lily, but at some point I will tell someone my true feelings for them, and I am thinking that the story's gonna go very like Spider-Man-like, so you know, Spider gets with MJ at some point, and eventually, of course, MJ dies.
MJ doesn't die. Gwen dies.
Gwen dies, that's true, but he breaks up with MJ. Sorry.
Yes.
I got them mixed up. So I'm thinking this is what's gonna happen with him and Zhao. Like they'll get maybe like up to like getting an apartment together and having like plans for the future, and then I'm gonna do something stupid and I'm gonna break up.
You're gonna miss the wedding.
Yeah, because of superhero business. Yeah.
Oh, it didn't even get to the wedding. It was
It's a
the
Reed
engagement
Richards-
parter.
No,
Party.
it's the Reed Richards wedding, and
Yeah.
it's the Richards wedding where they're like, and she's like, "Fuck all of you, you can't even get me."
I feel like she's already at that point. Like,
Yeah, but I
But
mean,
she kind of has a guilt complex
Yeah.
going on right now.
it'll take. I figure like it'll take a few years.
Hmm.
But
Well,
anyway.
We'll just have to play more Masks and
Yes.
see where it goes.
So that said, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you so much to all of you for playing with me. Thank you, Lily, for GMing this game. It was awesome. My first. It's in fact the first time I play in a Powered by the Apocalypse game.
Oh, cool. I love Powered by the Apocalypse.
It's a really cool system. I DM'd it once for a one-shot, but I find that PBTA is a system that I love playing more than GMing. So, that said, I am Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to all of you watching on YouTube. Thank you for the donations, the follows, the hosts, the everything. I just wanted to let you know that we will be back tomorrow for Cyberpunk Red, the last of our bi-weekly sessions, because after PAX East, we will become a weekly show. And we will be there every week with guests and a bunch of other stuff. We also have giveaways coming up tomorrow. What more? Saturday we are coming back with Vampire the Masquerade. And Sunday we have a very special charity stream here for special effects with the Dog Cockle as Geralt of Rivia. We are going to play with The Witcher with Kelly Butler, B. Dave Walters, Johnny Chiodini, and Sarah... I don't know her last name yet, but Mustingsart on the Twitter. So we're gonna be gathering money for Special Effect, which is a charity that helps disabled people play video games and just enjoy electronic entertainment. So be it computer, PC, console, whatever, so that they can have a bit more of a normal, or I should say an abled lifestyle. Do stuff that they could do before they became disabled. That said, we're also going to have a bunch of giveaways for that. We have CD Projekt Red's giving away games. We have PDFs. We have books. We have t-shirts, custom-made t-shirts that only a few select people are going to win. And then after the stream, you're going to be able to buy those t-shirts with the proceeds, the profits going to charity. I want to thank all of our sponsors, Mage End Press, Found Familiar, Level Up Dice, our partners for all of our streams here on Wandering DM. And I'll see you all at PAX if you're there. Otherwise, keep an eye out on this channel. Fellow players, illustrious GM, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? Let us begin with Lily this time.
Ooh, me first. Okay. My name's Lily. I'm just a little nerd. Thank you everyone so much for watching. This has been amazing. All of these people are amazing. And yeah, this has been hella fun, hella creative, and just the best. I am so excited for our next season. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Just a Little Nerd. I don't know if I already said that, but I'm saying it again. And what am I streaming? What is my stream schedule? I will be tomorrow on the Lady Tiefling channel playing Descent into Avernus, D&D 5e. And then every Thursday, you can catch me on the Nerdy Northerners channel where they play a pre-recorded session of my YOLO game, which is another D&D 5e that I'm running. And yeah, stay tuned to my Twitter and Instagram if you want to find out where else I'm going to be. I have some cool guest spots coming up with WebDM and Scraticus, so I'm very excited for those. And if you are going to be at GaryCon in March, please hit me up. I'm going to be speaking on a panel with Satine Phoenix on women in gaming, and I'm going to be playing a bunch of games and stuff, so it's been a good ride, and thank you all so much for having me here and playing in my game and being so creative and amazing and wonderful people, and so good. So good. So freaking good. Okay, that's me. Love you all.
Thank you so much for coming and jamming, Lily. Let's go around the table to the other players. Let's begin with Alcestis. Deirdre.
Oh, this is so much fun. I cannot wait. I look forward to seeing what happens next. But until then, stay tuned, true believers. Sorry, I had to throw it in at least once. Hello all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre Donlin on Twitter or Praxagorth as Mayaphories. You see me hang out in the Twitch chat. And I will be back here tomorrow for Cyberpunk Red. And then I'm in the driver's seat on Saturday, as Simon said, for some Vampire the Masquerade. As, you know, they were just attacked by possibly the Inquisition running around New York. Things are getting really heated. You never know. And then on Monday, I'm over on Katie Face's channel. We're running a short campaign of Lady Blackbird, and that's just, it's beautiful, hilarious, and all of the things that you want in a Lady Blackbird campaign. And then Tuesday, back here for the finale of Dark Matter. And then Wednesday, I will be somebody. No.
Oh no, you
Tales
have a
the
stream.
Grim.
That's true. You have a stream on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, I have a stream. I have a stream for Tales to the Grim for the Witcher Family of Wraiths because somebody decided that Letho needed to show up. Thank you. Letho the Kingslayer is now in play in this game. It's great.
So great.
I'm not worried about this at all. And then I'm going to be at PAX. And if you see me at PAX, come say hi. I'm running a panel. Simon's on that panel. A bunch of other people are on that panel. Come see us. And I can't wait to see you all. So, catch you next time.
Thank you so much for coming. Next up is Kat Cleric.
Hi, I'm Kat. I am at Clerk of Court on Twitter and in Twitch, and I play games with my friends on the internet. And this has been an amazing experience. I am looking forward to doing this more. Chameleon is just, she started out so alone in my head, and now she has a family, and it's just, it's, I'm going to be a while processing. Um, what have I got coming up? Saturday, after you've finished watching The Witcher one shot here, head on over to Encounter Roleplay. We are doing a meat grinder to support Black Girls Code. And I will be playing, Susanna Grace is going to be our DM for the meat grinder, and I will be playing my tiefling sorcerer, Dina, who, it's a Valentine's Day themed one shot. That's all I know. But it should be very, very interesting. And Dina is really hoping this is a dating sim.
Yeah, I heard that Susanna was doing a dating sim, and I want to know all about this.
Yeah, that's all I know. But that will be starting at noon Eastern. So after The Witcher, come on out, head on over and join us there. And you'll be able to donate to support Black Girls Code. Excuse me. Wednesday, I will be back on at Other Dogs channel with Masks, where I am playing the Nova playbook, and Medwarp is, it's interesting. She may or may not have offered to rip the soul from one of her teammates' mother's body. Anyways, so if you want to find out what happens, check us out on Other Docs channel at 7 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday. And keep your eye out. I have a pinned tweet. Soon, very soon, will be coming Shadowrun.
Ooh.
On Thursdays. So keep your eye out. That's on its way. And thank you, Lily. This has, I don't have words for what this is. And Deidre and Pope and Simon, thank you. This has been beautiful. I love you all.
Love.
Of you too. Thank you for coming. And last but certainly not least is our wizard. Pope, how are you?
Excelsior! I had to do it.
Yes.
And for now, this has to get hung up. But only for now. Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on Twitter, Pope World Build on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. If you want to see more of this ridiculous face, you get a couple of opportunities throughout the week. Primarily every other Sunday, you can catch me on Matt F7's channel, where we get down with the knee on the dreadful beat of DJ Strahd. Wednesdays, as a lead-in to that Witcher game over on Tales from the Grim, we try and save the world in Watchmen, Port of the Black Freighter. You get to see another familiar face on that one. And then, well, there are things in the mix, but can't quite talk about them yet, so keep your eyes peeled. Otherwise, yeah, all these charity events, Saturday, Encounter Roleplay. If you're not here watching Vampire, that's where your butt should be. Susanna Grace. Dating Sim meets Takeshi's Castle meets D&D 5e. Be there. I actually get to be on that one as Douglas Doyle. It's the first time I've gotten to do a D&D character that allows me to use one of my wife's delightful props. So tune in for that. And then Sunday, be here, be early, be in chat. I want to see all of you. We're going to raise money for a worthy cause. So this weekend, that's where we're going to be. All right? And I just want to say, I love each and every one of you. Lily, Kat, Deidre, Simon, and all of you in chat. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're as much part of the story as any of us here, whether you're watching live, VOD, YouTube. You make this all possible, and I love you. Take care. See you soon. And it's so long. It's not goodbye.
We'll see you in hell.
Ciao, everyone. I was so tempted to cut on that. Ciao, everyone.
Bye.